Live with Bran, the man, the mortgage man. Bran, thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
So, for those that don't know Bran, I am going to share my screen. I don't have the video editors that you do to do my B-roll, so I got to share it and do myself.
That's okay. That's how
But
I
Bran,
started.
yeah. But Bran is somebody I've been following for a long time on Instagram, 236,000 followers, on TikTok, 125,000 followers. And then I found you on Zillow, dude, 713 reviews. That's insane. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, it's just hard to get anybody to leave a review, especially for the lender.
It's
Um,
crazy, right? I know.
yeah.
Got to look for those.
And then I didn't pull it up, but on YouTube, let's pull your YouTube up here.
Sure.
Ran the mortgage man. 21,000 followers. But what I think is most incredible is that like you actually have people to watch your videos. I'll make a YouTube video and I'll have three watchers, like my mom, my wife, and I make my daughter watch it. But like you have like
Yeah,
and
that's probably my son 16,000 times. Yeah, I'd say YouTube is for us, we're still struggling there. Just it doesn't matter how great of content you create. I feel our content's is great. It's educational. It's really valuable to people, but YouTube is just like a nut we haven't really cracked. I mean, that 21,000 subs is great. Um, but the goal is to grow that further. I think the big thing, and not to, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but we've just put a lot more time and effort into, and by we, it's my business partner and I, we put a lot more time and effort into the short form content than we do into the long form. And so, as with anything, right? The more consistent you are, the more committed you are to something, you tend to see the results of that. We just haven't been as committed or consistent when it comes to YouTube, and therefore, um, the results are not quite as great as they've been on short form.
no, but what's interesting is I've tried my best to do YouTube and I feel like I suck at it. You do an amazing job talking for 8 minutes. Like there's one thing to do a short form video and have like a 90-second video, which you crush it at. But to go 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes and still keep people engaged, like you're freaking fantastic at it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, that's tough for sure. I gotta be gotta be honest with you. I'll just keep talking and talking, but the thing, that like what I teach other people for social is that you still have to have your hooks. You still have to have your retention pieces, right? And realistically, you still want to have a call to action, right? That's how you structure content. And so you got to remember those things. I can talk and talk and talk. I talk for hours I mean, I do this every day. It's not like I'm not originating loans. I'm actually actively originating. So talking on things that I know about and am doing actively on a daily basis is easy. It's hitting those other points that you need to because, at the end of the day, I want to provide value to people, but I also want to turn that into opportunities, right? That to earn clients.
Well, and today what we're going to talk about is building a brand and marketing yourself. I think we both agree having a brand now is more important than ever. Nike, all these companies, even mortgage companies have their brand, but people want to work with people they know, like, and trust. And I Googled your name here, Bran Brodsky, but up until like last week, I didn't know your last name was Brodsky. I thought it was Mortgage Man because Bran, the Mortgage Man. And you Google yourself, and like just all this stuff comes up and it's just years and years of content, your videos. So you've been an expert at branding yourself as a brand, and like I see my friends in the industry all share your stuff. Like you're their competitor as a loan officer, and they're sharing your stuff. So that just shows how how incredible you've done with your brand.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
talk us through your journey, man. Where you were, where you're at, how you got there, and
How
give us
far
the
back
cheat
do you want me
codes.
to, how far back do you want me to go? You want like how I
Well,
got in the business leading up to where we
no,
are today?
well, I mean, we only got
I
like
can kind of
45
tell
minutes.
you. Yeah, right. So, well, for one, in I would say mid to before November of 2023, my business partner and I sat down. We saw changes coming in the industry. We saw that we needed to do something to separate ourselves from everyone else because everyone does the same thing, right? It's both fortunate and unfortunate. That's just how our industry is, right? And so we're like, what can we do that's different that we can commit to? So years prior, just going to give you a quick
Yeah.
back and forth. we dabbled in creating online content. I've always been the face of the business. And so Adam's my business partner. He's more on the back end operations of our mortgage company, but we work cohesively on everything. So years ago, probably 2012 to 15, we started to create content for Facebook because you were able to target market at that point in time and
Yep.
just really dialed in on who sees the content and who doesn't. Um, Once HUD stepped in and put regulation in place on them, it became more difficult to do. But when we were doing it, we create for one long white form, but he'd literally stand and film me in front of a whiteboard. And like you said, I would just rip off information, like just giving it, what I know, talking about closing costs for 30 minutes and whatever it might be, giving value to people. And as time progressed, that opened doors for us to meet with agents and build relationships, right? Because the content's being created to provide value to people, but it has to also provide value to you. And so unknowingly and without intent, we became the Facebook guys. When we meet with it's the Facebook guys. It's
Yeah.
the Facebook guys, right? Just that's it became that without trying. Now, naturally, like anyone else in our industry, we saw a lot of success with that, and then we stopped doing it. Right? We did it, and would get business from it. The problem was at the time, I didn't have the right team structure, infrastructure within our business to support the influx of opportunities. And so I got pulled back into the business. And, I mentioned this, on a webinar I did last week, but it's like fishing, right? You're always having to fish because when you stop fishing, you have no more fish and you have nothing to eat, let's call it, right? So you have to go back out fishing. And when you stop fishing, you're starving. And that's kind of what happened. It was we'd go out, get the opportunities, come in, work on the opportunities, but have it go out again. And so we ended up stop creating because we just didn't have a system in place to keep creating this content and doing the business at the same time. Now jump ahead 10, 13 years, whatever it is, right before November of 2023, we're like, we really need to figure this out. We see where the market's going. We see that we feel like everyone in the middle is going to get squeezed out. What's going to make us different? Let's commit to what we know we can do. And so it was November of 2023. We started filming content with intent, consistently. We committed to it. It became part of my routine on a weekly basis. And there was definitely that learning curve early on, but we stuck with it, right? I got better and better as time progressed. Get out of your own comfort. You have to get out of your comfort zone. That's a big issue that people have with creating. They're so concerned with what they're going to look like, how they're going to sound. I can tell you this much, just do it because it's the people who are doing it that are seeing the results. It's the people who aren't doing it who aren't. You have to do it to see the results. So committed to it. At our first video go viral in April and kept hitting it from there. But we decided that when we were going to launch the social media channels, right? Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, we were going to do it under a pseudonym. So it's Bran the Mortgage Man. So Bran the Mortgage Man was just a nickname that it's like I gave myself
That's
years
a
ago.
great
I've
nickname.
had the Gmail email address, Bran the Mortgage Man at Gmail. I don't even know how long, forever. Um, but so I decided to stick with that and not use our company name, Reach Home Loans, because we're like, people want to work with a person, not a company.
Yeah.
And I constantly said that, like, people don't even know, a lot of people don't even know my company. They know me. And so like, let's just stick with that,
Nor do
brand
they
ourselves.
care.
Yeah, it's like people like the that more personalized feel where it's not and we've always worked our mortgage business that way. We've always made it about the person and the person handling the loan, the person we're helping, not our company. And we always wanted to be different that way. So we're like, why wouldn't we do the same thing on social? So we decided to focus on my personal brand. Um, just get the name recognition and just feel like people get to know who I am as an individual and not like they're dealing with a big, a corporate office. But I mean, that's where things are going. People want, like you said, people want to work with someone they know, like, and trust. That's not a company. That's the
Well,
person.
and what's really cool of everything you just said, like connecting the dots to people that are watching this, is some people are like, "Oh, internet, that's not for me. I'm more about customer facing, excellent service." Well, you're still doing that. You're just you leveraging social media to amplify your exposure and your brand, like they're probably doing with a billboard on the highway. The difference is you're going to get more people to see your billboard and actually pay attention because how many times you drove to work? How many billboards did you see? Probably a dozen. You couldn't tell me a single one because you were on your
Yeah.
phone. like me.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's the truth. It's a way to get out in front of people at scale.
Yes,
It's I don't do lunch and learns anymore. We've done that years ago, right? And there's probably people listening that still do. And there's nothing wrong with it. The problem is there's just limitations. I don't leave my office. I don't have to because I have the opportunities coming to me. I'm creating the audience for myself where I don't have to leave my office. Um, and that's really what people have to realize. That's the benefit of social. It's not just about being on the internet, it's to be able to scale something. When I do presentations for realtors, I think I have 14. So, and I talk about this in some of our, when I do some coaching, but we have 14,000 realtors that follow me on Instagram. I know that because we actually built a system where we can actually segment out and track who follows us, and we have them all tagged. So if I want to market directly to realtors and say, hey, I'm putting on this event where I'm going to teach you the strategies that I use with my local agents to win more deals in the market, right? And
that's
working
brilliant.
cohesively with your lender partner, hop on. I can get 1,000 realtors in front of me at one time where go do a lunch and learn. You're lucky if you put 20 people in a room
And you're going to spend
physically.
$1,000 booking the room, booking the food, throwing away the food because nobody came.
Yeah, listen, it is what it, and we've all been there, right? Nowadays, if I put on a lunch and learn, it's not a lunch and learn to try to get mortgage. I'll actually do events for some of my loan originators that work for my company, and I'll go and I'll speak there and teach or originator, not originator, I'm sorry, realtors how to create their own brand and build their own social presence. Um, and kind of what we're talking about now, the value of doing that and how to stand out in your market. And so that's really where we've kind of pivoted to. And in turn, it actually creates opportunities. Like if you're creating content online, just think about the value of this to be able to reach out to a realtor and say, hey, this is my social presence. I can meet with you and I can show you how to do exactly what I'm doing. So you don't have to rely on Zillow or realtor.com or whatever lead source you might be relying on right now. You create your own opportunities. You're not relying on the ones that are created by someone else. That's a way different opening pitch to a realtor to earn the relationship than, hey, I'm available 7 days a week. I have the lowest rates, right? Like,
Yeah,
that's great. If you're not
yeah.
available 7 days a week these days, you're probably not in the business, right?
Or you shouldn't be.
What's a real differentiator that you can show? And we use our social presence, right, as that differentiator. And so it's gone a long way for us.
No, I'm glad you said that because one of the things I was doing is I would reach out to agents and I'd say, hey, I see you have this listing. It's been on the market for 30 days. Would you be open if I came in and taught a class on Broker Open? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach a class. We're going to invite realtors to your property. I'm going to teach them how to make listing videos at the property, like in a lunch and learn style. Whoever gets the most views in the videos in 48 hours, I'm going to raffle off a free gimbal.
It's awesome.
And what I would do, man, is and you probably know this in CapCut, there's a template where you just take 10-second, 5-second clips of the house, put it in the template, and makes the video for you. So I have these realtors come in, 10 realtors, and not all of them do the video. Let's say six. And let's say they get 200 views each. That's 1,200 additional views on the property.
Killer.
So the realtor's like, yeah, definitely come in. So I was doing one of those a week at one point, right? And that was my script to get in the door. Like you said,
Beautiful. Yeah,
I had to come with
different.
something different, yeah, and bring value. So now I'm doing these lunch and learns, broker opens. It's not the only thing I'm paying for is a $60 gimbal, right? And then I gotta like help edit some of the videos.
Sure.
But now these realtors come back to me, and now I'll add something else, like or I'll give away a guide. Comment Ross Street to get the guide for living in this home. But it's just more value to them because something else that you're touching on is a lot of these realtors and even us, like we're doing a lot of this ourselves. And if you look at a realtor, they don't have like in the IMB world, in the retail side, we have marketing departments that can help us. Realtor doesn't have a marketing department. So I look at it as like maybe I can help be their marketing department a little bit if I can create, automations or content that's easily replicatable and provide to them as value. And
Yeah,
and
it's huge.
that's like as I hear you talking, like you're doing it, but at a larger scale and doing presentations, which I think is brilliant.
Yeah, I love your approach though. It's awesome. You have to think outside the box, right?
Yep.
Whether it's what you're doing, whether it's what we're doing, it's you have to stand out now. You're becoming that person that they know provides that value and that's kind of that's your brand to them, right? So I think that's
Well,
huge.
and for me, and I appreciate you saying that. That actually means the world coming from you. But for me, like I know in my world or in today's environment, like what I'm doing isn't enough. Like I still got to get better and learn. I got to follow people like you. I got to reach out to people like you and collaborate and get ideas. And thank God you are so open and share and and people in your at your level are also often open to share. You can't just wait. Like reach out to people, see what they're doing, see if they're offering coaching, see if they're what coaching they're in, because people at the top, believe it or not, want to help others come to the top with them.
Yeah, I agree with that. I enjoy helping other people. At this point, like you get to a point where it's not just about financial success anymore. I want to see other people succeed. It's kind of like, I mean, for those that have kids that understand, like you teach your son, for instance, how to ride a bicycle. It's not because you know how to ride a bicycle, but it's the feeling of accomplishment, right? And so
Yeah.
you think about that, like I enjoy teaching people and showing other people how to do it, and it feels good to see them succeed with it. I've done it with my team, right? I've taken everyone just to give it some context, like the loan originators that work on my team started at zero, no experience. I always hire new because I prefer to teach someone how to do something from the beginning and not teach them how to unlearn what they already know and reteach them. And I have people in my office that are, 3, 4 years in the business that their opportunities are created by what I'm doing on social, but they're making $200,000 plus a year. Started on that feels good to know. Like my everything we're generating supports 25 families, right? That's how powerful. So if it feels good to know that you're doing that and showing other people how to succeed based on what you've been able to do.
No, that's amazing. Well, share with me a really cool strategy that someone could walk away from this call with and use today to get some business.
Social media based.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So if you're already on social media, one of the easiest ways to pick up followers and generate business from those followers and are called loop replay reels. Have you ever gone on and seen someone post? It looks like a still image, it's got words on it, but you'll notice the background is moving slightly, right?
Okay.
Those are called loop replay reels.
If I give you the ability to share the screen, you think you could show me?
Yeah. Or if you want to pull up, why don't you pull up my
Oh,
profile that you had up
okay.
before?
Even better. Share
I'll point
screen.
one out to you.
Should I go TikTok or Instagram?
Go to Instagram.
Okay, perfect.
I think I posted one yesterday,
Oh, even better.
actually.
This
Click
one?
on, yeah, I think click on that real quick. See the background's moving?
Hmm.
That's a loop replay reel, right? It runs for 6 or 7 seconds. Each time that replays like that, it counts as a view. Most people cannot read all the information on there in 6 or 7 seconds. So you're picking up
Ah,
views, right? From there. But what you want to do is you want to turn those views into followers. And so, right, that's what we generate the followers from the views. But this is a good way to pick up about 1,000 followers a month if you post these. If you notice, if you go to not this view, but go back real quick, click on the Reels tab. So click that, out of that, click, there you go. How many? It has
87,000.
87.7 thousand views. That was posted less than 24 hours ago, right? Um, Now some people are probably like, oh yeah, but Brandon, you have, over 200,000. Of course you have that many. Instagram right now is promoting newer accounts, right? So you can see the same results. You might get more views than I do because of the algorithm right now and how they're pushing that. Um, but that's a great trick to pick up followers. What you want to do with your followers. This is the other add-on piece that's extremely important. Most people are like, okay, I got followers, I got views, I got shares and likes, right? But you want to convert these into transactions or potential transactions. So what you need to do when someone follows you is you need to set up your DMs, right? The direct messages on the back end. You need to create automation in there. You can do that using ManyChat,
Yep.
right? So ManyChat, you need to make sure you have it set up to start a conversation with anyone who follows you. That's a piece that's missed. You got to treat them like leads, right? It's like you would get a lead and not call it. Like, what's the purpose of that lead? So we
If
start
I
conversations.
unfollow you and follow you, will I get that message?
You might. I don't know. Try
I'm just
it.
curious.
Yeah, I truly don't know.
Unfollow. I'll give it a few minutes.
Yeah, if you do that, so you what you'll see happen is you get a message, and I forgot the exact verbiage that we use. Now, I don't just to be clear with everybody, we when ManyChat became available, we started using ManyChat. It's very basic. It can do everything that anyone listening needs it to do, right? A basic conversation. However, since then, I hired a developer who built it custom. So everything is built on the way I speak. So ours is truly custom, so it can have a real conversation with someone, not just if this, then that type conversation. But for those of you listening, start with ManyChat. It's free up to like 2,000 uh, followers, I think. So it's a free tool. You plug it in, and it's just start a conversation, and then anyone that responds, take it over manually. So if you, hey, are you new to the home buying process, or are you just kind of preparing for the future, right? Let's just say it says has a message like that. They acknowledge it with a response. Anyone that responds, that's someone that you might want to consider, taking over manually and reaching out to, right? So if there's a trick to pick up business, that would be my trick or hack to pick up business. Start
Dude,
with the
that's
loop replay reel,
huge.
very simple, and then convert that into DM automated messages to anyone that follows you from that, and then use that to convert it into an opportunity.
So I'm just gonna pull mine up real quick because at one
Sure.
time I got up to like 12,000 followers. And then I was drinking one Saturday night and I saw an alert that said half of your followers are bots or whatever. Do you want
Oh
to
yeah, you
delete?
got to be careful with that for sure.
I was like, yeah, delete them. And I lost like
So I have
7,000
a
followers.
you want a tip?
Yeah.
Beautiful daughter, by the way. Imagine that's your daughter in the photo.
Thank you. It's
So
actually
here's
it's an AI girl, so that way realtors don't feel threatened by me. I'm
right.
kidding.
So here's what I can tell you, and this is something that I'm teaching this coming week. When you're optimizing your profile, as much as you love your daughter, I have two kids too. I have a daughter and a son. That photo should just be you.
Okay.
It should be as far as the depth from you is correct, right? You want it to be a close-up of you, but you really want it to be only you because your brand isn't your daughter, it's you, right? What I would
Gotcha.
also do is I would change your handle from Rick Guerrero Jr. to something more mortgage facing. So, someone goes on your profile, if they see your handle, they'd have to read further down, right? But if they read your handle, they don't really know what you do. Rick Guerrero Jr., right? I don't know what you do for what this
Oh,
page is until I start digging in, but most people aren't going to dig in. Now, if it says Rick the mortgage man, whatever you want to call yourself, right?
yeah.
Okay, I know this guy does mortgages, right? I would almost be like Rick the mortgage guru, like mortgage guru Guerrero, like play off that.
Well, here's
Um,
another one I made for my YouTube channel, only because like
okay.
at one
Yeah,
time
so I
I,
know
I
what you
was,
do. You're right.
yeah,
You do
yeah.
home loans.
Yeah, because I do a lot of work with the military community. I'm
Oh,
a
beautiful.
martial
Are you
artist.
okay?
I've been doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu for 20 plus years. So I work with a charity where I can go on base and teach the military how to teach them jiu-jitsu, teach
Oh,
seminars.
that's awesome.
So I
Very
go on
cool.
base and I teach free seminars, which I would usually charge a lot more money for, but it's my way of giving back to the veteran community, the military community. So I was like, well, I'm doing this, and like this is kind of like 20 years martial artist, home loan hero.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, I would just for one, if you're gonna be Rick, your home loan hero, be Rick, your home loan hero on all
Yep.
platforms.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that as soon as we
So I
hang
would
up.
change your handle on here.
Yeah. I also need to make some other updates I
I would
realized I haven't
change,
made.
and I would certainly change everything you have underneath here, right? I'm going to I'll get you my profile optimization
Okay,
step-by-step
cool.
playbook. So you can optimize this. You just want it to be,
Even better. Can we give that away to the viewers? Your home optimization playbook.
we can give it away.
Awesome. So that way, people that are watching this, if you
Yeah.
click on the link,
Anyone
we'll have
that
a link.
connects with you can reach out and then, or if they want to follow me, send me a message, whatever it is, the easiest way to get to it. But I'll have my
Is there
team
a
share
word
that.
is there a word they can drop in your DMs or it'll go to them automatically?
We don't have a CTA. We'd have to build that in. I don't think
Oh
we
yeah,
have
well, don't worry
we'd
about
have
it.
to have a video that it links to, which we wouldn't have one in this case. So the
Yeah,
best approach would be maybe you can just share anyone that would like
cool.
it, and I'll make sure that we're able to deliver that to all of them. But it will show
Sounds
how to
good.
play by play, how to optimize their profile on Instagram, and turn it into a way to drive business to you. Because the way your profile page should work, it should work like a lead funnel. So it should be there should be a way to connect with you regardless of what the person's looking for. So whether you want to go to my profile real quick?
Absolutely. Let's
I'll
go
show
back.
you.
Yeah, yeah. Shoot, where did I have it? Here we go.
Perfect. So I think it's pretty. So my handle, Brand the Mortgage Man. You know I do mortgages, right? What do? I help home buyers save money. Everyone wants to save money. We know that, right? So one of the things you really want to do is you want to add a link tree into your profile. You see, I have a link tree there. So if you click on that, so every button on here pertains to a different right? Save thousands when buying. That's a home buyer. Lower your mortgage payments. Someone looking to refinance. Real estate agents that want to partner up. Clearly, that's right. Realtors. Someone that wants to join my team. We're always hiring people for our team, right? Can join. Loan officers. I have a newsletter where I take people off the platforms where I market to them directly, right? When I put a call to action, a video like comment home, and I'll send you my lead mag. I don't call it a lead magnet, but I'll send you information on that, right? That's a lead magnet. It's a document that provides valuable information to them. But in exchange, I get their information, right? There's a lot of value to me in that. It allows me to market to them directly off of Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is. So that's my newsletter. I do brand collabs for people, and then below that is YouTube, right? But each of these links out. So if you click save thousands when buying a home, for instance, the first tab,
Oh, safe out. There you go.
yep. So if there's a video there, I tell them exactly what to do, and then they can submit their information, right? And so,
I really love the AI mustache, by the way.
yeah, you like that? But yeah, I mean, this is what you want to do, right? You want to have ways for people to connect with you, and you want to drive. You can't assume they're just going to write in yeah, I want to work with you. Now, I get that all the time. I legitimately have people that are like, hey, I'm under contract. I've been watching your content for the last, 9 months. How do I connect with your team? It happens a lot. And then I have people that I'm ready to buy. I want to buy a place wherever, and my team helps them. Now I'm not licensed everywhere. I think I have 8 licenses and I have a couple that we've submitted for approval. When I get opportunities in states I'm not licensed, I give those away. I just say, hey, make sure that you take good care of this person, because my reputation relies on your ability to actually take care of this person. But that's really it. I don't look for anything in return. But that happens all the time. But think about that. I'm getting enough opportunities to give away to people on top of what I'm generating for myself, but using these tools like right the trick I showed you,
That's a
content
huge
linking out
trick.
driving. Yeah, it's massive. But like for those listening, last year I did 50 million. I'm giving you rounded up numbers, but I did 50 million in loan volume directly from social media. I think last year I did like 175 million in total loan volume, of which about 50 came from social. That was my second full year of creating content. In 2024, which was my first full year of creating content, and this was without intent to drive business to me into the company, I did 20 million in loan volume directly from social media out of a total of like 114 million in production. So in a 2-year period, the only thing I changed, right, in my business, right, called 2023, I think I did 23, I did 100 called 105 million. So 2023, 105 million, 2025, 175 million. The only thing I changed from 2023 to 25 is I had a social media strategy. So forget my volume, right? I think that's a 69% increase in production. So what I tell people is imagine what your production would look like by implementing social media. If you can increase it 69%, increase it 50%, right? You did 10 million, which is a big number. You do 15. You did 5, you do 7.5. Just it's really the numbers are life changing if you commit to it. It's just about committing to it. You don't commit to something, you can't expect to see results, right? You have to be consistent with it. But I teach all those things, right? I actually we started coaching to it recently, right? To try to teach other people how to do what I do, originate loans and create content, right? At the same time. But it really works. I mean, that in everything I'm saying can be verified. I'm not these aren't made up numbers. You can go on Reddit, check my production, whatever
Oh,
anyone wants to do.
I've vetted you out heavily. I've been stalking you for
Yeah,
a
I mean,
long
anyone
time. So
listening, right? Naturally, you get people that are like, "Yeah, it's bullshit." But check it out. Like, you can't hide anything these days. Everything like if this was if it was like 2015, I can make up some numbers. You have no way to
Uh,
check that. Like these are legitimate. You can check them, go on Reddit or have someone, if you don't have access, have someone else check it.
no, but there's
Um,
something you said that I want to make sure I hit really hard is that you're doing these things and still in origination and still talking to the clients. Because like a lot of it's funny, and I'm sure you've had loan officers on your team. Like, I don't have time for social media. Like, you closed 100 million and you make a video almost every day.
Oh, I have people on my team that see me doing it and still don't want to do it. Like, but it's not, listen, at the end of the day, it's not for everyone. It
Yeah.
just isn't, right? You can't make someone do something they're uncomfortable doing, but that's fine because I have a role for those people. Those people support me and provide value to our clients, right? They help when we get an influx of opportunities. They help take the applications, collect documents, right? Go through the process. And I talk strategy with the client. But there's a role for everyone. It's just not everyone needs. What I'm saying is social media works. If you're comfortable doing it, even if you're not, try to get out of your comfort zone. You should do it because it can change your business, change your life. If you're not comfortable doing it, it's not a problem. If you're good at loans and you want to work for a team that is generating opportunities, go to my link tree and hit submit and we'll reach out to you. But you know, that's pretty much what it comes down to, like just doing it.
Well, but what I also want to hit on is like you're still in the process originating. So there's so many people, and I paid for coaching. I paid for, I probably spent over $50,000 in coaching, maybe $100,000 in coaching over my career, right? And learned so much from a lot of people. But some of these coaches, and no disrespect to any of them, they have some great stuff, great content, but they're not in the origination like you are. And being in it and talking to customers every day and talking to realtors and being in that process, there's something different that happens that you're learning or you're developing, you're executing because you're in it that helps translate to the videos. Like they lose that translation.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, teaching someone something that worked, like forget just mortgages, right? If you think to ourselves how different the mortgage business is today than it was even 2 years ago, right? Um, think about technology and how it's changed our mortgage business. Now think about social media changes all the time as well, right? And so you're always having to adapt. It's not like something I did 6 months ago is still working today. There are things that don't work. Like I'm not perfect on this, but the benefit, I'm literally doing it every single day. And we're constantly having to tweak because algorithms change, right? So something that worked well for, me 6 months ago, a year ago, may not be performing as well now. So I have to adapt, but I provide that knowledge that I'm learning in real time with other people so that it prevents them from having to go through those same struggles. Like, oh man, okay, Brandon just saved me 6 months of trial and error because
Yes, you're the race
he
car.
already went through the trial and error, right? He
Yeah,
did it for me, right? I took the bullet for them. Now they don't have to take the bullet, right?
yeah.
But that's the benefit of work. I agree with you. What makes me different when it comes to teaching on this is that I'm actually doing it. And that's our coaching platform's name is actually in it because we're literally in it every single day, creating while originating. And so it's substantially different. Not that, like you said, there's great coaches out there that are doing a lot for people, but they're not active. That's all they're doing now. It's just coaching. They're not actually still originating or really creating their own content for social anymore. They're just telling people what they did at some point, or maybe they saw it and they're like, "Oh, this looks like it might work," but they're not actually implementing. We implement and we give advice based on what we've implemented, not what might have worked, at some point in the
Yeah,
past.
what's worked for you? You're like, I've tried
Correct.
these 100 things. These 98 did not work. So don't do them. Do these two.
Yeah, in our so that you pulled up our
Yeah, pull the
the page,
website.
right? So what's referenced there? So a $70 million master class that I ran, we capped it at 100 people. 100 people hit. I know Rick was asking about opening up. We may open up to a few more people. That's running Monday of next
I
week.
just
So
want
thank you
one
for
more
opening.
person, not a few more,
Yeah,
just one more person.
101. Yeah, but so we're actually, so I had a free webinar I did last Thursday where I provide a ton of value. The thing is, you'd have to self implement, right? So I gave about 8 or 9 things, like the loop replay reels was one of them, but I have 8 or 9 other things that people can do that will substantially change the trajectory of their business using social media. The problem with that and with most things, right, is having the information is only as good as implementing it. If you don't implement it, it's not going anywhere. And so we decided to offer a master class it's 5 days where in 2 hours a day, it's myself. I'm bringing my business partner in, bringing in some of my team because we all work cohesively, as I mentioned early on creating content and implementing it with our strategies. But 2 hours a day, so 10 hours minimum next week, where we're actually going to like hold people's hands and walk them through implementing. Because if they never implement it, it's not valuable. It's value and with, but it's nothing if you don't use it, right? And
Right.
so that's what we're going to help people do is we're going to help them implement it. And the goal is to help people, create their own brand and grow that and then leverage it, right? At the end of the day, that's the overall goal. But while we're actually doing it, so in our group that we created for this, I've already shared that scripts that I had a script that went like it has like 400,000 views on Instagram alone. I think it has it's probably 1 million views between Instagram and TikTok. So I dropped the entire script for that video I'm like, copy this. Like I'm encouraging
How many
people to
people copied
copy.
it?
Like
Do
you
you
don't have to,
know?
don't like I jokingly said, I'm like, copy what I'm doing. You don't have to like copy me. Like I joking like Stan, like from, Eminem. Like don't make
Yeah.
yourself into like Stan the mortgage man, but
Let's see.
copy my content, like make it your own, have your own voice. Like the way I'm speaking to you now is how I speak. That's just who I am, right? Whether it's a client, a realtor, whomever, be you, but take what I'm saying, right? Because it works, the content I'm using, turn it into your own voice and re-deliver it from yourself because we know that the subject actually performs, right? So I encourage people to copy, R&D, rip off and duplicate, right? Like we joke about, but it's the truth. You should do it. It was funny, there's people that joined that are like, "Yeah, I don't want to copy. I feel bad. I don't want to copy." I'm like, copy my stuff. I don't
You
feel
copied it from
bad.
somebody else.
Copy it. Yeah. Like I'll take other stuff that performs for other people, make it my own, right? Like that's just how it works. It's the thing about the news, right? There are how many news stations are there? Multiple. They're all reporting on the same thing in a slightly different way, right? Think about
In an, in, in
you
an
are
angle
the
that
news
benefits
now,
them.
right? You are the news now, right? So you got to think about it that way.
Hmm. So, how on that topic, I know we're coming close to time, but for those, like, how do you come up with your scripts?
So what we'll do is we'll go and we'll find local trending articles or news. Google's an easy one, Chat GPT. I'm subscribed to multiple sources that I get delivered to my inbox, right, on a daily basis, and we'll pull information from there. We'll go to other creators' accounts that are in our same genre, like I suggest people do, right? If you go back to my Instagram real quick, here's a little trick people can use. This was implemented about 3 weeks ago on Instagram. So you go here, go to the Reels tab, right? The little play button, some people might call it. Hover over it. Click it again. I apologize. Click it. There should be a drop down when you click on that.
Let's see. Maybe I don't have the right update. Yeah, it just says Reels.
It could be. So what should happen when you click on that? It should give you two options. One of them allows you to sort it by most views.
Try it again. So hover each one.
It's in the Reels tab. You have to be in the Reels for sure. Let me see if they removed it for some reason. Give me just a second. Let me
Yeah,
pull
they
up
they
my
they
phone.
they they found out all the business you were getting off of it, and they're like, "We got to
Yeah.
shut
Like,
this down. This guy's
no,
too successful."
no. Oh no, I have it on mine.
Huh.
Can you
You
see
know
my
what?
screen?
Maybe it's for mobile.
Could be. I don't know
Yeah,
if
let
you
me
can
turn
see
my
my
phone.
screen.
I can't, but I'm turning
Oh,
my phone
okay.
too.
So when you click that Reels tab, you're gonna have two options, latest and most viewed. If you click most viewed, it automatically sorts all the videos by the most views. The videos with the most views are clearly the ones that perform best, right? They're more viral.
Yes,
Just copy.
it's
It's
very
working on
mo.
mobile.
Yeah, it's on the mobile.
All right, perfect. Yeah,
So
so
oh,
I
see,
encourage people to
most
do
viewed. You can
that.
see that.
Yep. So yeah, so go into, someone that you look up to and enjoy content from that's in your genre. Do what I said, click on the Reels tab, select most viewed. The videos at the top are the ones that are performing best. Grab those, copy them, make them your own, and that's your content. That's the easiest way.
That's amazing.
That's the easiest way to
Dude,
do it now.
I would spend time scrolling through other people's stuff. Look, like, oh, that one has 1 million views, or that one has 600,000, and playing it. So this is brilliant.
Yeah,
Thanks for
so
the tip.
I would say that's the easiest way to go ahead and get ideas for content is from what is working for other people.
That's brilliant. I mean, I want to show just one thing real quick, that, as an example of copying, and I mentioned it to you. You make this video and I love it. How much do I need to make a $400,000 home? And I ripped it off. Where's my Instagram out? And close the window.
Yeah, while you're looking, these videos for those watching, these are so easy to create, right? I imagine everyone on here, I would think, is in the mortgage
How
industry.
much money do I
Oh,
need to buy a 400 house?
Great question, Kate. Let's do the math and let's figure it out. All right. So our purchase price is
just like you.
400,000.
It's great. I love it. Well, I love it. With your
It's-
daughter is awesome. But
yeah,
it's
you
so
see,
these videos perform well because the reason these do well is that question that your daughter asked, or in my videos, it's Megan, who is part of my team, asks, right? Um, they're asking as the person watching the video, right? Because most people are scared to ask questions, something that we know the answer to as mortgage professionals that just seems so simple to us. Like, yeah, we'll just do the math on this real quick, right? Is not simple to the average viewer. And so you got to keep that in mind when you're coming up with ideas for content. Just think, what value can I provide to the person watching this? Right? This is valuable. And I do a lot of, man, I've copied my own video over and over, and it hits every time. This scene, literally, how much we need to make a 400. I'm actually shooting that today. And again, the same video. Because remember this, you can don't repost the same exact video, like reshoot it. But you're not going to have the same people watching your content every single time. You have to remember your content is new to somebody. And so it's okay to shoot the same type of video, or even the same video, right? Multiple times, because you're going to have a different viewer each time on those videos.
yeah. Yeah, and it's great, just great content. And just an example of like some people, there was another person I followed and copied their videos and they blocked me. So,
That's crazy to me. Yeah, I don't understand that. I'm
but
telling, like, copy whatever you want to copy. Copy these for sure. This video, this video you're watching right now, the watch time on this is over 3 years. And I've
it's
only been
amazing.
creating content since November 23, so that's less than 3 years. So it has 3 years of watch time. I think from this one video, I picked up like 25,000 followers.
Wow. And then you're doing the automated message, which I love. I'm going to start implementing that myself. And so going back to that, I was manually messaging people like, "Hey, Brand, thanks
Oh,
so much for
that's hard.
following me."
At least you're doing that. I mean, it's most
I
people don't do
stopped.
anything. Most people don't do anything. But yeah, I mean, you should look at ManyChat for yourself to create
Yep.
automation on the
Oh,
back end.
I use ManyChat from
Oh,
automation.
awesome. Okay,
I just don't do
cool.
that part. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that's huge. I set it up for yourself so it automatically sends a message when someone follows you, and then you just that way you only have conversations with the people that are engaged on the DMs with your automation.
I just followed you again. See if I got a DM from you. I did not. It probably knew that we're already that
Oh, it might take. I don't know how fast. I
uh,
don't know if it's instantaneous. I don't know
yeah.
the timing on it, but yeah, it usually picks up pretty quick.
Well, anyways, man, I want to be super respectful of your time. This has been
Oh
freaking
no, absolutely
awesome.
my pleasure.
I've learned like so many tips myself that I'm going to start implementing immediately.
Good.
As we wrap this up, anything you want to leave people with, any thoughts? I know. Oh, I know I was going to ask you. So you started the coaching with the loan officers. Are you going to open that up to realtors at some point?
We're actually using it in a different manner for realtors. So there's some value for the loan officers on here is we're actually using that. I'm putting on a similar webinar at the end of February, so the end of this month, for realtors, but we're not going to have a paid coaching platform for realtors. What we're doing is we're getting them into online, like a school, where we provide value to those realtors on an ongoing basis. I think I mentioned I have like 14,000 realtors that follow me on Instagram alone. The goal is to get 3,000 realtors into that school by the end of this year, where I can have ongoing value that I'm providing to them inside the school community, and we're going to provide valuable things to them on a monthly basis, things along a free appraisal, a 1 year rate buy down, whatever it might be, that we can provide to those agents, where they can then pass that along to their clients when working with myself and my company. So that's where we're going more on the realtor side. We are going to teach them the social media side of things, but like I said, it'd be an unpaid from their side.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. You're doing so much stuff. Thanks again for coming on today
Yeah, of
and
course.
sharing all the information. And man, I'm going to continue to rooting for you. And